The neat rows of corn my father planted with sweat and tears now lay in ruin, broken, crushed, and utterly destroyed without mercy. The deep footprints of wild boars were imprinted into the soil like a blatant challenge. We couldn't just stand by and watch the hard work of our family go to waste. A decision was made. We had to hunt. Would this mission to protect our crops bring the results we hoped for? Keep watching until the end to find out. After a quick strategy meeting, the team gathered at the edge of the forest. Dressed in camouflage blending seamlessly with the trees, we laced up our specialized boots designed for all terrains. With final checks on our radios, rifles, and a signal to our skilled hunting dogs, everything was ready for the long day ahead. Moving through the ancient forest at dawn was always a challenge, especially with the danger of encountering a wild boar at any moment. We moved silently, each step deliberate, listening for the slightest sound. Suddenly, a soft rustling from the thicket ahead. I knew the prey was near. Just as planned, the boar dashed into the open. Before it even had time to realize the danger, I raised my rifle and squeezed the trigger. The boar fell to the ground. It was the perfect start. This wasn't just a lucky shot. It was the result of careful planning, terrain analysis, and understanding the boar's habits. After dealing with the first boar, we pushed deeper into the forest. My experience told me that at this hour, the boars would be seeking out swampy areas or digging for roots and tubers to eat. That's a critical weakness as they become careless while feeding. And sure enough, from a distance, we spotted a group of wild boars feeding. I quietly assigned positions to each team member. At my signal, gunfire erupted like thunder, pinning down the fattest boar in the herd. The rest panicked, scattering in all directions, completely disoriented. In the ambush position, James's team was tense, especially as the sounds of the boar's footsteps grew louder. As the herd appeared before us, another round of gunfire rang out. We had taken out the lead boar, and the rest of the herd broke into a frenzy, each boar running in a different direction. In that chaotic moment, I realized that a hunter's skill isn't just about precise shooting, it's about coordination, trusting your team, and making split-second decisions. The sun blazed overhead, and the air felt thick and oppressive. After the intense confrontations, we decided to change tactics and go solo. I made my way to a familiar trail, a perfect ambush point to intercept any boar that had separated from a group. Sweat poured down my face, but I stayed completely still. Then my patience paid off. A lone boar moved cautiously through the dry brush, unaware of my presence. I held my breath, lined up the shot, and squeezed the trigger. The bullet found its mark, and the boar dropped immediately. I continued to move to another prime ambush point, a place where wild boars often come to cool off in the afternoon. And there it was, another boar, alone, coming directly toward me. This time, I wasn't waiting for it to get closer. I made a sound to grab its attention. The moment it lifted its head and locked eyes with me, I knew the opportunity had come. The shot was quick and accurate. It collapsed in seconds. This wasn't just about firing a gun. It was about understanding the prey, using its instincts against it. The sun was setting in the west, its light beginning to fade. This was our last chance of the day. Following fresh tracks, I traced a lone boar. It moved slowly, likely exhausted after a day of wreaking havoc and hiding. The shot rang out. The boar was hit, but with its fierce survival instinct, it immediately bolted. It couldn't get away. I quickly pursued and found it collapsed in a patch of dry grass, bringing the chase to an end. The night was falling. We regrouped, loaded our spoils onto the Land Rover Defender, and began our journey home. It had been a long, exhausting day, but one full of meaning. My father's cornfields and those of the villagers had been protected. Thank you for following our journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more hunting adventures to come. For us, the war against wild boars never truly ends. They wreak havoc all year round, no matter the terrain or the weather. When they hide in the icy snow-capped mountains and slip into the shadowy snowy forests, the pursuit becomes tougher than ever. Treacherous slopes force us to tread with extreme caution, while the blinding white forest erases almost every trace. But no matter where they hide, no matter how harsh the conditions, our mission remains the same. Stop these beasts before they destroy the crops and the livelihood of the locals. Today, join us on 2 thrilling hunts to see how we dealt with them. First, let's head into the majestic snow-covered mountains of the United States. Armed with rifles, winter gear, binoculars, and every piece of essential equipment, we were ready to take on the icy challenge. The wild boar hunt in the frozen mountains officially begins. After nearly an hour tracking deep prints in the thick snow, the entire team froze in place. A faint rustle came from up ahead. So quiet, the whole forest seemed to hold its breath. I moved closer, raised my binoculars, and scanned for movement. Then I saw them, a herd of wild boars, moving silently in single file across a snowy hillside. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle locked onto my target, a boar in the middle of the group, wading slowly through the snow in search of food. Then, boom, the gunshot ripped through the frozen silence. The boar collapsed into the white snow. Nearby, my teammate David took down another, adding to today's haul. The rest of the herd scattered in panic, charging toward a snowy ridge, right where David was lying in wait. One lone boar broke away from the group, stranded in the blinding snow, and walked straight into my sights. Perfect distance, perfect timing. Then, boom, its massive body crumpled into the deep snow without a chance to fight back. Hours of patience ended in a single second. We pushed deeper into the dense forest, where the snow was churned up, clear signs the herd had just been feeding. Ahead, 2 boars were buried in their feast, heads down and completely unaware. I squeezed the trigger. The shot cracked like thunder. The beast dropped. Instantly, the challenger had fallen. What do you think? Was that a perfect shot? Let us know in the comments. Now, let's head into an entirely different hunt, deep winter in the frozen forests of North America. A perfect hideout for wild boars, and a sign that things were about to get intense. Unbelievable. My hunting dog was pushing a boar at least 5 times its size straight toward me. No hesitation, I pulled the trigger. The bullet was so fast, it was almost invisible, striking the beast dead on. A clean fall. The snowy backdrop made for the perfect final scene. Do you think this shot deserves golden moment status? Comment below. That afternoon, we ventured deeper into the snow-covered woods. Suddenly, a wild boar burst into a sprint across the frozen forest. I tracked it quickly. The open clearing ahead was the perfect place to end it. The first shot rang out, boom, breaking the stillness of the forest. The boar slid and collapsed in the icy snow. Not far away, David took down 2 more. As the daylight faded, the last light filtered through the old trees, carrying a chill and a rush of adrenaline. I lined up for the final shot of the day. The first bullet missed, my heart skipped a beat. The boar spun and ran. I quickly followed with a second shot. It crashed into the brush and fell. Brutal, yet spectacular. On the other side, a single shot from my teammate claimed another life just as cleanly. And the most important thing, every moment happened within the bounds of the law, respecting nature and ethical hunting. This wasn't just the end of a forest hunt, it was the pinnacle of skill, patience, and honor that only a responsible hunter truly deserves. And just like that, today's hunt came to a close. The team returned with plenty of game, wide smiles, and relief knowing we had eliminated threats to this land.
Under the scorching sun of New South Wales, Tom arrives at Aunt Selena's small house for a rest, only to find himself swept up in an unexpected wild boar hunt. Here, wild boars are not just a danger to humans and livestock but also the #1 enemy of the fertile fields. So, alongside Aunt Selena's neighbors, he joins a thrilling hunting expedition to protect the crops for the local farmers. At the crack of dawn, Tom hops into the truck with local farmers, heading straight for the fields. Early morning is when the wild boars wreak the most havoc. Right away, they drive after the boars, which scatter in a frenzy. With the help of a pack of skilled hunting dogs, no boar can escape. From the sorghum field, a dog caught a wild boar, causing it to let out piercing squeals. This field had been the most heavily ravaged by wild boars, with large swathes of sorghum flattened, resulting in immense losses. Not stopping there, the vehicle continued toward a field being tilled. The farmers here said their planting season was about to begin, so the wild boar population needed to be quickly reduced, otherwise, farming would be extremely challenging. While searching, Tom spotted a black wild boar darting past him. Immediately, he and his dogs gave chase. At a suitable distance, he finally took the shot. A perfect hit, the boar was brought down instantly. While searching, Tom spotted a black wild boar darting past him. Immediately, he and his dogs gave chase. At a suitable distance, he finally took the shot. A perfect hit, the boar was brought down instantly. The hunt for wild boars continues, as many are still hiding in these fields. Noticing the dogs chasing a boar, Tom quickly accelerates to follow. Fantastic! The dogs have caught another wild boar. The boars here aren't too large, weighing around 15 to 20 kg with mottled fur, yet they're remarkably agile. The group is thrilled, and amid the sounds of the boars, they eagerly cheer on the dogs. Right after, the team pursues more boars. The noises from the boar herd, mixed with the dogs barking, heighten the excitement in the air. Under the blazing sun, the farmers' determination doesn't waver. They strive to capture as many boars as possible. Afterward, they continue tracking other boar herds. However, it takes quite a while to spot them again. From a distance, the boars hear the commotion and start to flee. The dogs relentlessly scour the bushes and grassy patches. Eventually, they discover the dogs have caught a small, mottled boar. From the fields to the bushes and tall grass, the pack of dogs operated at full capacity, relentlessly catching wild boars without tiring. Truly, in this area, the dogs were the ultimate weapons in helping eliminate the wild boars. After taking down a good number of wild boars, the group decided to head home to rest and prepare for future hunts. They knew the wild boars would continue to breed and cause more damage. This posed a significant challenge for farmers and the government in finding sustainable solutions to control the wild boar population.
At the boundary between civilization and the wild, wild boars are among the most dangerous invasive species to agriculture, the environment, and other animals. They dig up the soil, destroy young forests, erode the land, and cause severe damage to nature. That's why we couldn't just stand by and watch. As soon as the first light of dawn touched the mountains, I shouldered my backpack, gripped my familiar rifle, and began the journey to hunt wild boar in the highlands. This is more than just a hunt, it's a face-to-face encounter between man and untamed nature. Will we be able to maintain the upper hand today? Let's find out together. To begin today's hunt, we headed for the hills, where wild boar often roam in herds, bullying and preying on other wildlife. Our backpacks were packed, our rifles fully loaded, and our team set off. Through the pale shafts of sunlight, my binoculars caught sight of a wild boar sprinting across the sea of tall grass. Each pounding step kicked up dry clouds of dust. Without hesitation, I dropped into firing position, took a deep breath, aligned my sights, and aimed straight for a vital spot. The trigger broke clean. The bullet cut through the air and struck true. The beast collapsed instantly, so fast it didn't even have time for a final scream. From the mountain's crest, I scanned the land below. Suddenly, my eyes locked on something suspicious in the grass ahead. Without warning, a dark figure burst out like a lightning bolt, wild, reckless, fearless. I squeezed the trigger. Shots tore through the morning air. One struck home, and the boar crashed heavily into the earth. My teammate and our dog locked onto the boar's trail. I quickly moved into position, heart pounding as I waited for the decisive moment. Suddenly, the boar charged out from the brush. I fired a burst, the animal staggered, then dropped motionless. Relief washed over me. A second slower, and I could have been its target. A sudden rustle came from the bushes. I raised my rifle, instantly scanning with tense focus. A massive beast burst into the open, racing across the grass. My shot struck true. It stumbled, lost control, rolled across the far side of the field, and lay still. Then from a distance, a massive black shadow charged straight toward us. I held my breath, aimed, and fired. The shot hit its mark. The beast collapsed at my feet, lifeless. The chase reached a wide dirt road when suddenly a boar burst from the opposite field. Instinct took over. Boom, my shot struck dead center. The animal collapsed and rolled into the far field, never getting the chance to escape. Today's hunt ended in complete success, each target eliminated with precision, restoring peace to this land.